Hello again. This is the Cosmic Chat Room. I'm Franklin, and we have an hour to do readings and also to check the day. Today was added up to a 21. 2 plus 1 is 3. This is a 3. If you were born today, if this is your birthday, the first thing to know is that you're coming into the world in year 3 of your 9 year cycle, current 9 year cycle. And you'll always be able to track which year of the 9 year cycle you're in by adding nine. As you go along to the three that you begin with. And when a person is born with a birth number of 3, their life is really about being able to express the sensitivity that is inside of them that many other people fail to see because they don't share it. And a 2-1-3, see, the 2 is all about cooperation. So if you're born today, you are going to have to cooperate with other people. You're going to have to talk to other people. You are born with the gift of gab, the gift of influence. You will always be listened to, no matter if you are delivering constructive criticism or um, what other people will take as just being critical of them and judging them. And this is really the downside of the 3 is making yourself understood. Other people don't always respond to your better ideas for them in the way that you want them to. So the life of the 3, the person born today, is about figuring that out, figuring other people out, and being able to give them what they want, what they need, being able to use that voice that you have to express the sensitivity that's in your heart, to express the mm, being easier on other people, not judging other people. And this is how you prevent yourself from being judged. So, the last time we were together, we were talking about the relationship numbers and how different birth numbers can be added together to give a relationship number. And people were asking, what is the perfect number for them to have a relationship with? And the answer is any of them for all of the relationship numbers. And this is 2, because when you add 1 plus 1, 2 is really the lowest number you can have. But you can have a 10 relationship. So from 2 to 12, these are the relationship numbers. And those numbers all have a positive side and a negative side. You can always be working either side, and by knowing what the negative side is, avoid it by working with your partner as 2 relationship people must do. The 2 is all about cooperation, and the 3 relationship is about being able to express to each other your really honest feelings, and that sensitivity that you sometimes have to hide in today's world. There, there's such a thing as being too vulnerable, as being too open, too helpful, and being taken advantage of. And this is the fine line that you have to walk. The 4 relationship is on the plus side, on the positive side, is all about helping each other plan for the future and laying out a step-by-step plan. But on the negative side, if you have scattered energy and you're not following through on your plans, then this is when it works against you, and you would have a negative relationship. Nita says, "Good evening," joining us in the chat room. Nita, what is your birth number? Have you added up your date of birth, and do you know what year that you came in on, and can figure out from that what year this year is for you? Because the 9 year cycles work very much like a garden, in that it it has to grow, it has to get bigger, and once you the plant has the confidence to come up, that's the one. It comes into the sunshine and is nurtured. That's the two. All right, Nana says that her birthday is 8/14 of 1969, and that would be 13, 23. We figured this out last time, didn't we? 23 and then 32. Well, maybe not. This is the hard part of astrology, is being able to add your numbers up, right? 13, 23, 29, so 38. So is a 3, 8, 11. And that means double creativity, being able to. Here's Tamara joining us now, and is having a lovely evening. And I see. Okay, so we have figured out that Nina, Nina, I think I've lost my place here. 10, 19, 25, 38. Okay, so you're an 11, and the partner is on 6, 7, 8, 18, and 25, a 2, 5, 7. Okay, so 18 altogether, that's 9. The relationship is a 9. And that is one of the highest relationships, because you idealize each other. You help each other, you complete each other. And of course, the negative side is that when you depend too much on anybody, you can overdo it. You can overtax that person. And Karen now saying hello. Glad to have you with us, dear. We're working on relationship numbers. Chris with a K says, "Will everything be okay at my job?" Well, now let's take a look at that. Everything is really tense now, and this is because the boss is making big changes, of course, and things are really being held up right now by the Saturn retrograde. And will everything be okay in the job? Yes, it will. Yes, it's there is a message in this for you, though. That's the thing about the boss and these changes. You're going to have to read between the lines to see what they want from you, and that's what's being held back here. It's almost a test. They're going to let you hang yourself, right? So you got to find out what it is they want from you. And well, let's see. Now, in the 9 relationship for Nana, the 9 is all about being able to accept the differences between the two people. If you can accept your mate, that tells you that you're supposed to be with them in this life. Those that you can forgive, these are the people that, like, very much like your own children, whom you can forgive of anything. When you can do that with another soul, you have as good a relationship as relationships get on this earth. And there is no such thing as the perfect relationship, because there is a negative side and to any relationship. Nina says, just found out today that I'm going to have surgery, back surgery again, because we're repeating everything in these weeks. The retrograde of Saturn is nothing like the retrogrades of Mercury. Saturn's all about your destiny, what you're fated to do, what your purpose in life is, and it's this surgery that's holding back your purpose in life, dear. That's why it's taken so long to get it together, but it is going to be the life changing, life bettering thing that it's supposed to be. They This will solve the long lasting problem. The pain can be addressed in a much better way than you've been trying to. So this is great for you. The finding out that surgery is what you need is a good thing. You need it to know. You need it to be able to 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 pray about it. Exactly. To to um, to ask your higher self to let you know what it's all about. Why this is the right thing to do as it comes in. Karen has joined us, and Franklin, would you pick a card for Karen? Karen, there you are. There you are. Okay, for Karen, what I would have to tell you today, okay, is that you're going to see behind the curtain. You're going to see the man behind the curtain, like the Wizard of Oz. You're going to see the wheels of justice actually grinding. You're going to see behind the scenes, and so anything that's coming up that has to do with a judge is almost surely fixed on your behalf. It's going to come out very good. Chris with a K says, "What would my number be? Born on 10/30, the day before Halloween of 1996." Well, see, you've got 4, and then 20, 30, 39. 39. That's a 12. And a 12 as a birth number, you add those back together and you get 3. And this is exactly what we were talking about for those born today. You would be a 3, meaning that expressing what is in your heart uh, is just the biggest thing in the world to you. And if you get bottled up and you keep all of that inside of yourself, you're going to have physical problems. Those who don't speak up when the opportunity came will have problems in the throat area. You Blockages inside of you are the entire invisible world is inside of you. And energy energy is like pain. When you reach out and you touch something hot, it goes from your fingertips to your brain to tell you that it's hot before you feel the burn. And it works in the opposite direction for thought also. So when thought can't get out of you, it causes blockages inside. So be sure that you're always expressing yourself. Chris, it's that you need to express to others how sensitive you truly are. You can't keep that hidden inside of you, trying to block the love that wants to get out is hard on you. It really is. Tamara says, "I'm a 7. Curious what you might have for me." For sevens, it's it's realizing that you have everything in you that you need to be a spiritual person, to connect with the spirit world. You have the ability to see both worlds, the material world and the spirit world, and have logic and emotion. These are the two. The card for you is the lovers. Of course, you're bringing the two sides of yourself together, logic and emotion, and that is that's the life purpose of a seven, is to combine your will with divine will. Do what the universe wants you to do. Listen to your guides and thank your guides for the information they give you by putting it to use. That's how you thank the spirit world. Um, Nene says, please pick a card for me. Nene, your guides are telling me that what you need to hear is just what we were talking about, the three, the expressing yourself with others, expressing the emotion that that powers you, and letting other people know that you do love them. When you share your love with other people, they they turn on. You have a contagious aura. You hand it off. It's you, and you don't deplete yourself a bit. So keep up the good work. That's a beautiful life. Tamara says, I do have a spiritual business, but logic gets me bound up at times. We there's no way to avoid it. The entire eight life path is about, do you let success into your life, or do you sabotage yourself because you're afraid that you'll abuse the power and the money? Some people are very frightened by wealth, and it comes through in when you have an eight in your number. Karen says, my personal number this year is a two. That's because of the twos that are in this year, 2022. To have three twos in every date of the year, and some days like the 22nd of the month, or maybe the second month, we've had some fantastically 2 days that are have been coming up this year. And if you'll wait, um, if you could wait until 2222, that year is going to be a very remarkable and memorable year, such as this one was. 2022 has been the year of recovery, of people being able to catch their breath and finally get out of this knee jerk reaction that we were spiraling along into. I feel like I've swum over to the edge and finally got my hand on the edge of the pool this year, and it's been so much easier on everyone just to live their life uh, in this year, even though we still see so many who are having a hard time of it. This is the year of recovery, and Karen, that too with you in this year is about connecting to other people, taking it to another level. You connect with other human souls so you can learn how to connect with the spirit world. It all builds upon itself as you go through your 9 year cycles. The ninth year is the one to remember, because the ninth year is when you release whatever it was. No matter how good or how bad last year was, you have to let it go. it ends up in a 9, and that's releasing it and blessing it and letting it go. Like relationships that you've gotten all the good out of, relationships that didn't work out. There's a point where you just have to release it. Anything, no matter how good or bad that comes into your life, needs to be released after it's been put to use, shared with others, blessed, and release it. That's the way that the universe wants you to do it. Um, where were we here? Izzy. Izzy has joined us in the chat room now. And Izzy would like a card. Izzy, your guides are saying that looks like someone is going to leave. Someone is going to um, come, a third party is going to express their self. It's a 3. And when they do, someone is going to leave you. Someone who needed to leave maybe a year ago. Someone who you're better off without. This is the universe doing for you what you couldn't do for yourself. You could not free yourself from that person. And uh, Karen says, thank you on her number 2 there. Chris says, I have noticed that the number 69 follows me on my phone number, my ID, my college ID number. Does this mean anything? It really does. I I have the number 20. It's my birth number, adds up to it. The number of letters on my birth certificate add up to 20. And the uh, the numbers that follow you are guideposts, signs, just big as the world. They the most obvious way that the spirit world can say, hey, take Route 69. It's and the way that the world is set up now, numbers figure into everything. Numbers numbers tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Words are meant to shade and hide the truth. The Eskimos have 25 different words for snow. So they can talk among themselves and no one will know what they're talking about. And that's why numbers are so important, why numbers are more truthful, and why numbers are the international language that go everywhere. And if you've ever tried to do a math problem using Roman numerals, you know why. They're the easiest to use. Um, and the college ID number. See, you can hit that in your social security number too. And this number truly is your lucky number that will somehow show up when you finally win the lottery. It can come to you backwards and forwards, and it will be with you your entire life. You will you'll experience these same numbers because you experienced them in a previous life. They meant something to you in that previous life, and this is that life through your guides calling you, trying to get you to remember. The whole purpose of having that life was that you would remember it later and be able to build upon it. This is what reincarnation is all about, is recalling those lives. And Tamara says, would you mind pulling a card for me? Well, dear, your guides want you to know today that happiness is comes from your love of other people. And right now, you're anything having to do with home and family is blessed for you, dear. If you're buying a new home, it's you're going to find the right one. This is this is known as the luckiest of all the tarot cards. This is pure good fortune, and that's what your guides want you to know is that this is what's in your future. Don't change anything that you're doing because you're on the right path. For you, or are they all locked? Are they all closed? It, the way the world treats you lets you know if you're going the right way or if you need to change your path. Is he the 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 person who is going to leave is not necessarily a romantic interest. This could be anyone in your life, a tough boss, a a coworker who really bothers you by sitting, next to you and cracking their knuckles or whatever. But it certainly doesn't have to be family. It doesn't have to be a romantic interest, and it really is something that needed to be done. That you needed to clear things there. And Izzy says a seven, a seven is all about trust and openness. Can you open your heart and love everybody? Love your enemies? See, that's what Jesus was talking about in the Good Samaritan, right? Can you allow your enemies to do good for you? Will you allow that into your life, or would you sabotage it simply because they're your enemy? And Chris with a K, Chris, have we not pulled one for you tonight, Chris? What your guides are looking at you with is a message. That's what the bird and this nine is a completion of great good fortune for you. Time to cash in. See the money there. It's time to cash in that investment type of thing for very good results. It's time for you to bring something to an end. The nine is always about releasing and letting things go after you've gotten the good out of it. So this would indicate that it's time to sell that stock. It's not going to get any higher. This is the time to cash it out. What else have we got up tonight for Karen? Karen says, lately keep seeing 1111 in the past 3 days. The 4 ones is telling you to have confidence in yourself. Have confidence in your own ability, and but not to the point of overstating it. Don't over represent yourself. That's the 1111. Don't don't tell somebody that you can do something when you really don't know how to do it, or you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. Tamara says, thank you. Appreciate the energy and the time. Many blessings to you. Thank you, Tamara. This is wonderful therapy for me. Anytime I'm doing readings for anyone, my guides are sending me messages. There's a message for me within everything that I've ever done for anybody. That's why I'm able to do it. This is how my guides let me know where I'm supposed to go, what I'm supposed to do. And Izzy says, "Can I pay for a question?" Uh, do you, not tonight. Um, I do calls every day on the regular telephone line and on video also, and it's that's such an interesting way to do it through voice only. You You express everything in your life through your voice. And your voice, of course, is how your guides speak to you. That's that voice inside of you, the voice you will trust most. This is why the this is why every time an angel comes to someone, that angel looks very much like that person, or very much like what that person would consider to be an angelic thing. And this tells us that angels can take any form, any form. They can come to any soul on the earth. And it tells you God loves every soul on earth equally. Everybody's the same in the eyes of God. God wants you to grow, change, become enlightened, get better, improve your not so much improve your position in the world, but improve what you can do for the world. To be a useful soul is the real purpose that we're here. And what else could it be? Surely not just to waste your time, just indulge yourself. This is the great lesson that we get from Jupiter, is that it's possible to get too much of even a good thing. You can overdo anything in the world. And the the big thing about relationships is that you can always work it out if you're both willing to give each other honest feedback. That's the biggest relationship builder that there's ever been in the world. It's helping each other. That's the reason that you're supposed to be together. Chris says, "May I ask, what do people think of me? What was the rising sign when you were born? How do people see you? How do people really they see you as a person who's here to learn, as a student of the universe, as of trying to be the best in the world? If you're when Capricorn is your rising sign, you don't settle for second best. You can't. You know that you're here to be the very best at whatever you choose to do. That's the Capricorn way of life. So this is how people see you, because when see the rising sign is what was coming up on the horizon when you first saw light of day, and light first saw you, the world first saw you, and that impression stays with you for the rest of your life. Izzy says, a funny thing happened tonight. Depressed about my situation, and the radio clicked on, and it was a song by Elton John came on. I guess that's why they call it the blues. Oh, oh. Izzy, I spent about 30 years as a radio disc jockey playing Elton John. I've been playing songs for people who would call and say things like, last time you played that song was the last time I found out I was pregnant. Don't do that again. And people would call me on the request line and tell me anything. Tell me the secrets that they knew somehow from the sound of my voice that I would understand. And it was music speaks to every soul on earth. Music is truly the international language. I worked for a radio station once. We played nothing but instrumentals, and we had a really huge international audience, people that did not speak English, because all they wanted was the music. And Izzy says, "Wow, well, yeah, yeah, it's there's a great connection through the voice that that goes out through the radio. And I knew when I was a child that that was where I was destined to be. I was going to be on a radio station. Um, and it, it it turned out to be the radio station I'd listened to. When I was a teenager, I ended up on the one that I had always listened to. And radio is it is such a one-on-one medium. Radio, I found, is very much like what we're doing right here. You sit in a room by yourself and imagine that there's people out there that are listening to you. But having the situation here in the chat room is just the ultimate of being able to talk to people and have people talk back. And as he says, the radio was off. Yes, let me tell you a story. Izzy. I was a morning disc jockey for a long time, and I used to wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'd wake up with the alarm radio. But I would wake up before the alarm went off, and I was hearing the song that was about to play when the alarm went off. I knew what was just about to happen. I've I've had a lot of experiences like that. Pass another disc jockey on the way in as you're out, and you suddenly hear a song that comes off of that person. Go down and get in your car, and the first song that they play on the radio is that song. There's an energy to music, and that no, the radio does not have to be turned on. It really doesn't. And there are people who hear music all the time that have been singing to themselves since they were a child, right? All the little commercials that were so catchy on radio and television can certainly get stuck in your mind. But that's a different story. And radio has certainly changed, and now there's truly a a station, or some musical thing for everybody, for every soul out there. Build your own radio station. That's an amazing thing that it finally became the um, the tool of the people. People are playing the music now. They took over the eliminated the middleman, as it were. So if if you have a question this evening in our chat room, as we're spinning around and trying to help people find themselves. Chris says, recently I woke up suddenly because I heard someone calling me about 3 a.m. Couldn't move, saw someone standing next to my bed watching me. To know who this was. This is transcendental meditation. This is ultimate meditation where a soul can leave their body, come to you. It happens. What you usually see is only their eyes, like those eyes suspended in the air, as though someone were watching you, right? That's the whole point. Is they have been attracted to you, and they have the ability to um, travel. And if you have a similar ability, now you're onto something. If you found someone who can travel, and you can travel to them. Izzy says, any possibility of reconciliation with. And she said, hey, okay. Any possibility of reconciliation with this soul for Izzy? Uh, only by everyone speaking up, uh, not hiding anything, not trying to keep anything a secret, by expressing your your reason for wanting that reconciliation. You have to speak up. You have to let them know, and if you're able to do that, yeah, there's a possibility of reconciliation because they're waiting to hear from you. They want to hear from you. Yeah. So um, the the travel for for different souls. This is the this is the power of the gurus in India who actually have these. There are souls in India who protect villages from wild animals by sleeping at the gate of the village and then leaving their body to go out and do the work of God. Have you ever have you ever woken up in the morning and felt yourself completely worn out, just tired? There's a chance that you've been used by the universe to leave your sleeping body, go out and help. Say there's been a disaster and you've got a lot of people are trying to find their way out of this universe. That's what you would do, is go guide those souls, help them. So if you truly are a blessed soul, and there are people among us who are part angel, you're going to be asked to do these things and used to do these things. And um, it's hard to to understand yourself enough to be able to be open to this. And see, even if you're not, you can still be used by the universe. I mean, you think you're asleep, but you are being used to do God's work, to help souls find their way into the next dimension. Ever how that happens. So we have Chris with a K says, "Oh, absolutely. I've dreamt about going back to where I'm from and helping people navigate the city and woken up surprisingly exhausted." Yes, there are, when you think about 7 billion people on the planet, at any day, any time, there's going to be a lot of souls who are trying to go through transition, trying to get out of this world so they can prepare themselves for for what comes next, and that's going to be a review of their life. They'll be able to hear every word that they've ever said and see how that affected everybody who's ever come in contact with them. And then you get to choose if what you're going to do next. You get to choose. You get to say if you have become enlightened. Yeah, try to lie to God. Try and see how that works out for you. You will know if you need another life. And of course, there's also those that have had enough lives already and they want to help different souls. And these are your spirit guides. These are the ones who come to you because they enjoy your emotions. Uh, this is why I don't think anyone has ever known who their spirit guides are, because it's not anyone that you know. It's not anyone who's ever been in your life. It's purely souls who attach to you so they can experience your emotions. And mm, The really funny thing is that there's also people who just want to experience a nice, easy life. They don't care if you're not overly emotional and you're not having these great emotions come through your life all the time. They enjoy the peace and quiet after whatever kind of life they've had to live, that they've just come through. And people are looking for very different things. There are also, I have discovered that there are also spirits out there that are attached to places. Perhaps the place they died, I don't know, but I've seen those um, images in the window from outside the house. I've felt those spirits behind me. I know also from the experiences of my granddaughters who are very spiritually blessed, that there are uh, spirits who are connected to certain places, and this is where they stay, where they're comfortable at, where they want to be, apparently. So there's who knows how many different ways the spirit world connects with us and gives us information, tries to guide us, and this is where money comes into play. Money and sickness. These are the two things that are used by your spirit guides. These are the two things that mean more to you. Though money and sickness will get you to do something today, right? And this is what your guides are always looking for. So this is why they tempt you with money. They make you bargain with them to keep your health. Get me out of this tight spot, and I'll be good forever. It's a pretty common thing. Everything in everything in this world seems to work around those five stages. We begin so often with anger, then we go to denial, and then it's bargaining. And when the bargaining with God doesn't work out, and it never does, you go to depression. And it's by going through depression, by accepting everything as it is, that you finally get to acceptance. True acceptance. Not just, oh, well, but acceptance of this must be happening for a reason. There's a purpose here. Wouldn't have brought me 72 years of this if there hadn't been a purpose for it. So this is what I look at it as. Uh, going, Chris, that waking up is the feeling is with you when you wake up. You can still almost feel where you've been because you just went bang. You came back into your body just that instant before you wake up, and it is possible to find where you're going to. That's that was the whole purpose of sun signs. When Alan Leo wrote his book back in the 1800s, the he said when they arrested him for doing it, he said that he was not telling fortunes. He was it was just like he was reading the stars to know which way the ocean currents were going and where his boat was going to end up. And this changed the world. We all we all learned how to read our own horoscopes. And horoscopes that at one time were just for kings and queens became popular for anybody who knew their exact date of birth. And these remarkable old things that came to us from a time before there was anything written down. The basic description of all the numbers were from before Pythagoras. He was just codifying all of the number systems that had been known as mysticism. And this is it's about 2,600 years ago. And if you want to look at coincidences, at the same time that the Buddha was teaching in India, Pythagoras was teaching in Greece. Now, Chris says, will I meet my soulmate soon? And if yes, where? All my friends are starting relationships. And I'm already the only single one. Sometimes it's pretty lonely. Will the soulmate turn up? Boy, that's what so many people are waiting for, is that person they recognize from another life, that person who is trying to communicate with them. And see, it came upside down, so it's the other way. It's not know it all. It's it's that if you keep looking, yes, that person does exist. Not where you are right now, though. You've got to turn it upside down. You have to you have to change how you're looking for that person. So hanging out with these single people, it's it's going to take a change in the way that you're going about it, in the way that you're looking for it. The person that you're looking for is not where you've been looking. That's that's how you can change things. Move yourself to a different level and have that person become a part of your life. That can happen. And Chris says they were all single when I met them. Well, there's there's such a new energy in the world today, of people getting together as groups and uh, not not actually doing the marriage all of the way. And it's just what you're used to. And this is why so many people are, stay on your case all the time. You got to get married. You got to get married. It's simply because that's what they did. Simply because that's what they were taught. It would have been just as easy in this country to create a very sane bunch of people, but nobody wanted to, because then they wouldn't have followed the political leaders, right? So it's just as easy to create the world that you want as it is to try and live in one that you don't feel right in, that you feel out of place in, like everybody else is doing something and you're not. And there is the great fallacy of advertising, that getting you to believe that everybody else in the world does this or is doing that, or everybody else in the world has their soulmate but you. And if you'll just drive our car, wear our clothes, eat our stuff, you too can find happiness. The 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 epitome of this is Coca-Cola. I mean, this is a unneeded product that became one of the most sold products in the world simply by 24/7 advertising worldwide, continuing to tell everyone, spending billions of dollars telling everyone that they were the only person that was not enjoying Coca-Cola. And it created a future for an unneeded project. That's what advertising and propaganda do. There's there's an old adage in the advertising business that nobody believes an ad until they see it 32 times. That's what research has always shown, is that after 32 times, you accept it as fact, no matter what it was. And that's just the way people are. So advertising is what you have to be careful of. Advertising that created this imaginary war between men and women. And how many people think that's going on, and they really have to, do their part. And it's for the sake of money, they tear couples apart. Uh, it's People will look back at us in a couple of hundred years and think we really were the strangest creatures that had ever been on Earth, because we had all of the tools, all of the advantages, and we used them for all the wrong reasons. The biggest industry in the world is pornography, the biggest money maker in the world, and pornography is undefeated. It's just the way. And then this is taking advantage of idiosyncrasies that have been instilled in us by all the media. That I've been watching media since I can remember. There has always been a television, as long as I can remember, and you can't unwatch anything. Everything you've ever seen stays with you, and you dealing with it is growing up. I guess it's getting past that point. So, Chris, they all were single at the time I met them. That's their problem, right? But it's truly not necessary for the younger people of today, especially because the world is truly changing every day, and people are um, finding that communication was the biggest part of getting together with another person. And if you can do that without going to all the trouble of living with them, and still have real, like we are right now, to really have good communication, is it, we become friends. We become um, human beings together, and that's what we're here for. That's why we all come together, and we try to help each other. We try to figure these things out, and help other people to figure out that they have everything within them. They Every soul possesses everything they need to be happy. And the fallacy that we fall into, so much because of advertising, is that we want to find somebody else who can make us happy. And boy, that just never works out, does it? If you're counting on somebody else to make you happy, about the only way is codependency, right? And you know where that leads to. So that depending upon someone else, that looking for the perfect person who's going to take care of all your needs and treat you great. Uh, that's why it's so hard. This is why it's so hard. Imagine with 7 billion people on the planet, no matter that everybody has a mate they're supposed to be with, how are they going to find each other? How are they going to get there at exactly the same time? How are they both going to be climbing the same mountain at the same time and reach the top at exactly the same time? How many couples does one have to wait for the other to grow up, to become enlightened, to change? And that's one of the problems on this earth. I can see we are out of time, and I do want to thank everyone for being a part of the get together tonight. Next week, same time, same channel. Till then, I'm Franklin, and I do thank you for being here.